Okay guys, it is time to discuss Invincible. By the way, this video does have spoilers, but don't worry, I will tell you when the spoilers start. Don't click off this video just yet. But oh my gosh, I am so excited to talk about this show, Invincible. I loved it so much. By the way, hey, my name is Destiny. If you don't know me, I love to talk about movies and TV shows that I love, and hopefully I can share the love with you guys. Please think about supporting me on my Patreon. You'll get fun, exclusive videos, and I can slowly but surely upgrade my equipment, making better quality videos for you guys. And hopefully work towards making this my full-time job. Or just buy me a coffee. Commissions are open, by the way. And also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I have a fun time on there. Thanks for listening, and now back to the video. And today, as I said, we're talking about Invincible. Man, this show is so amazing. I was hooked on this show. Now, I really was going to review this weekly, but oh my gosh, it was just so hard to manage with Falcon Winter Soldier, and then like was it last weekend? Yeah, last weekend, where it was Falcon Winter Soldier, Shadow and Bone, and Mortal Kombat. It was just a lot. So I'm just glad I can review this show as a whole. This is kind of a full season kind of review, but the spoilers are more focused on the season finale. But yeah, we'll get to that later. But again, Invincible. Robert Kirkman, you genius. Okay, look. Amazon Prime has some very amazing series. By the way, if you watch, their shows, like just The Boys alone, they have really top tier content, and I just love that Invincible is joining the group. Invincible is kind of similar to The Boys in that it examines the real world implications of actually having superheroes and what that would mean for us human beings. And because it's very adult, it does not shy away from blood and destruction, even though it comes on Fridays, or like kind of Thursday nights my time. But even though it comes on Fridays, it's like the perfect adult Saturday morning cartoon. It's not for kids. It's not for kids. But because it's like so adult with like the blood and gore, it's like, oh man, I love the show so much. I hope I can express it. How many ways can I express that I love Invincible? But it also has a dash of Young Justice because of like the different teams that we're introduced to throughout the series. And another thing that's great about Invincible is that you already jump into an expanded universe. I love this. I really love this. It's only an origin story for Mark Grayson, Invincible, as he kind of comes into his superpowers and he steps into really the behind the scenes world of being a superhero. But other than that, I love that for everyone else, like they know they're superhero. Like there's so many superheroes already operating. It's not like an origin story for everyone. We already have a universe set up for us. It's not growing or just starting. Only Mark is kind of finding his way in this world, and I really appreciate that. By the way, reminder, or I'm not sure if I said this, but I have not read the comics for Invincible. I really was going to at first I was going to pick them up because they were all on sale like right after Invincible premiered. But I decided I just wanted to experience the show with no prior knowledge. And also, I kind of read fast, so I got scared of spoiling things for myself. And then, really looking forward to this one storyline adapted in some way. So at this point, season 1 is finished. So if you have read the comics, should I pick them up? Because man, I read so fast. And now that we know season 2 and 3 are coming, at least I know these things will be adapted. But it kind of was just great to watch just without having the knowledge in my head, like what happens in the comics. Oh yeah, and Invincible is another weekly show, just like with The Boys on Amazon. It premiered with the first 3 episodes, and then it went weekly. And I think it really worked because Invincible also is 45 minutes, about 45 minutes each episode. So even though we've all been spoiled with all the shows that we binged, especially when Netflix came onto the scene and we were just so used to binging things. But this actually works. I don't know, like with Invincible, but yeah, it worked for me for the first 3 episodes to premiere and then go weekly, because even though there are some great cliffhangers, it actually works as a weekly show. Sometimes it is nice to watch things weekly, because sometimes when some shows you can binge them, Even though some shows are meant to be bingeable with the way that they're written, sometimes it's just refreshing to have, oh, this show over here I just binge, but also this show is weekly, and that way there can be more conversation around the show. It's not, a show just premiered, this person finished binging it because they waited all night for it to premiere, and this other person just is still going episode by episode, so it creates like more conversation. I like that. Now, another reason I really love Invincible, kind of like with The Boys, is because it has very twisted takes on very familiar superhero tropes, and I love that so much. I love series like this that kind of subvert expectations, but they're not taking characters that we already know and just subverting expectations to be cool. I love that, it's like new superheroes, and again, it's examining these, again, tropes in a realistic world, like how it would probably really go down. And I'm like thinking about it as, the simple human being. I think it is so fascinating, and I loved it so much. And another thing I wanted to note before I get into spoilers is the animation style here is fantastic. I say this so much, but with this, it truly feels like a comic book come to life. And isn't that great? Because I haven't read the comics, but I have seen comparisons between the actual comic and this show with the animation, and I think that's so cool. Invincible definitely deserves a watch. I think this show is perfect. And now, here's where the spoilers begin. Please, 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 if you have not watched this show, leave now. Come back later and finish the video, of course, but leave now and then come back for a spoiler discussion. You need to experience this with no spoilers. Trust me. So I'll give you a second to leave, to vacate the video. Okay, give you a second, drink my coffee. Okay, they're gone. So let's discuss spoilers. I'm so excited. I am so happy. I want to note that I'm so happy. Oh gosh, I love this show, you can tell. But I'm so happy that the show was renewed for season 2 and 3 before the season finale. Because if I watched the season finale and I didn't think it was going to get renewed or whatever, this could have been like a why you should be watching video. And also, I'm thinking of making that a whole series, and why you should be watching could be shows I cover that should be renewed, or just shows I'm watching that I like, and it'll be something. But the fact that it was renewed like the day of, or like a day before that the finale came on, made me so ecstatic. I was so thrilled, because this show definitely deserves it. I'm so happy it's renewed for 2 more seasons, because I'm hoping that means that this is going to be a show that continues and continues and continues. I love it. And again, like I said before in my non-spoiler section, I love series that subvert expectations like this, especially when they make things in this type of superhero world more adult. So there's a bunch of blood, gore, guts. It is very adult, not for kids. Not for kids, even though I could definitely watch this on Saturday morning, because I'm an adult, so it would definitely be my Saturday morning cartoon. And again, I just like that it shows this twisted world where superheroes actually exist, and it's not all daisies and rainbows. It may be for Mark at first because he likes that he has powers, and honestly, him discovering his powers was a great sequence in the first episode. And that's why I did want to mention, I was thinking about playing this in the non-spoiler section, but I wanted to mention that the voice cast, this entire voice cast, is so amazing. I ended up putting this in the spoiler section of this review because there are some people in this show who have their voice acting, and I was not expecting them at all. So of course, like, we have the main characters. We have Steven Yeun, Sandra Oh, J.K. Simmons, Zachary Quinto, Gillian Jacobs. I'm just like listing this off my head. Seth Rogen voices the character here. He's not, a regular character, but I thought that was fantastic. When I heard his voice, I was not expecting that. Mark Hamill, like, this is so great. And even man, I can't remember if it was episode 5 or 6, but when I heard Jonathan Groff's voice as Rick, and I think it was just for that episode, I'm like, man, this is great. Even Ezra Miller showed up. I love this voice cast. They're so amazing. And I love that the entire voice cast could also play these characters in live action. I think it's fantastic when you have that kind of synergy where you have someone voicing a character who could also play them in live action. I think that's fantastic. Now, for the season finale itself, the big reveal. I was not at all surprised by Viltrum being like colonizers, but it was amazing how they did it. Because the very first episode of the show ends with kind of a mid-credit scene of Nolan, Omni-Man, killing the entire Guardians of the Globe. Basically, in this show, they're basically a version of the Justice League. And I was not prepared for that whatsoever. I don't think anyone was unless you've read the comics. But it was so brutal and so unexpected. And for a split second, even I was thinking, okay, Nolan's being mind controlled and whoever is actually behind the scenes was a true villain or something's going on here. But I just started to realize, okay, I think it's just Nolan. But what is his end goal? The whole time I'm like, what is happening here? But as Invincible went on, as the series continued, every time Nolan would speak, something just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, every time he would speak about Viltrum and being a Viltrumite, and how he was assigned to come to Earth, and, they are, assigned to help people. I actually did have a moment where I was watching an episode and I just thought, this sounds like colonialism. Like, this just doesn't sound right the way he spoke, And it was confirmed for me when Mark went to Mars in, I think, episode 4. And my suspicions were confirmed because those Martians were not happy when Mark mentioned Viltrum or that he's a Viltrumite or whatever. Like, their reaction cemented it for me. It's like, yeah, something's going on with Nolan. He was not mind controlled. I think Viltrum is not a good society. And it was confirmed in that moment for me. So this season finale of Mark finally finding out the truth about his father, because slowly everyone else, found out the truth over the episodes, like Cecil and Debbie. But Mark finally finding out, oh God. This finale was brutal. I knew Mark was not going to win against his father because he's just inexperienced, and Invincible is an optimistic name. And this episode was crazy. Like, I think the worst part of the finale and the most brutal part was when Nolan used Mark's body to go through a subway train, and he's like killing the people inside the train because they're both so like strong. I was just wincing when he threw Mark through a building. He was trying to save the people, but he couldn't, and then he realized he only saved someone's arm. Oh my God, like, just showing like the way Nolan, the thing is, Nolan didn't really switch up, because there were just moments where Nolan rubbed me the wrong way with the way he would speak, but the way he like kind of switched up on his son, like, oh yeah, humans are weak, why do you even care, blah blah blah. And not only am I going to say this, but I'm going to show it to you and make you be like also a catalyst to this happening. Oh God, I thought that was cruel, very cruel, and that's the point, obviously. But it's just at the same time though, the fact that Nolan stopped himself because he had a flashback to Mark being a young boy, and he kind of remembered, oh yeah, this is my son, I kind of love him, but even though I think he's weak, like, I have raised this person. And then he just flees, and oh God, like, the one thing about this show that I like but also makes me so stressed is that Mark is always beat up, and the fact that he got so beat up by his own father, I probably feel so betrayed, obviously. And Debbie, oh God, Debbie is, oh yeah, and what Nolan said about Debbie, that she's just a pet to him. I'm not even surprised. Again, Viltrum just rubbed me the wrong way. And I know that Nolan left, but me personally, I think he's going to be back in some capacity. Come on, we know. And even though I know Mark just wants to finish high school, like, there's going to definitely be drama with Viltrum. I have not read the comics, so I do not know for sure what's going to happen, but come on. We all know they're coming back in some capacity. Even Alan, the alien voiced by Seth Rogen, he even says that like a fleet will probably come to Earth to challenge Invincible. One thing I liked at the end of the show is that, because I was thinking over the whole episode, like, yeah, Viltrumites, like, what are their kryptonite? Basically, they don't have any weaknesses. Like, yeah, they can lose in fights if they're fighting against other Viltrumites, but what are the human beings going to use? And Mark at that point just still wasn't strong enough to compete against his father, who probably has been actually living for a long time. But that I did like at the end of the episode, they showed Cecil is kind of mass producing those drones from an earlier episode, because it was the only thing that kind of slowed Nolan down. So maybe if they make them stronger, that is like a countermeasure. So hopefully that can be kind of close to a kryptonite for that. But man, I cannot wait for next season just to see how the Viltrumites factor in, because I think that's going to be insane. Now, that is my overall review for Invincible. I think it's an amazing show that you should definitely be watching, or you've already watched if you sat through my spoiler section. And I am so happy we're getting in season 2 and 3. So glad they confirmed that before the finale, because I would have been upset if I watched the finale and we did not get it confirmed at least season 2 or something. So what did you guys think of the show? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know down below. If you do comment spoilers, just mark it as spoilers, since half of this video was just my overall thoughts. And also, if you have read the comics, don't spoil. I mean spoilers for the show. If you have read the comics, please don't spoil it for other people. Let people experience this as it goes. But I do want to know if you have read the comics. Should I read them, or should I just let myself experience this show as it happens? Let me know. But again, comment down below, like this video, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. And I'll see you guys later.